I know you're all excited for the new season of Jujutsu Kaisen, so we've put together a complete recap just for you. Let's dive in. The season kicks off by introducing Yuji Itadori, a high school student with superhuman strength. Before passing away, his grandfather urges him to use his power to help others. Meanwhile, Megumi Fushiguro, a student from Tokyo Jujutsu High, is assigned to locate a cursed object, a powerful finger belonging to Sukuna, a legendary curse. As Megumi tracks the finger, curses attack Yuji's friends. To save them, Yuji swallows the finger, unknowingly allowing Sukuna to possess him. Despite this, Yuji manages to suppress Sukuna's control. Soon after, Megumi's teacher, Satoru Gojo, arrives and subdues Sukuna with ease, knocking Yuji out. However, while the Jujutsu elders want Yuji executed, Gojo convinces them to delay it, proposing that Yuji consume all of Sukuna's remaining fingers so that both he and Sukuna can be eliminated together. Accepting his fate, Yuji swallows another finger and begins his training at Tokyo Jujutsu High. Yuji teams up with Nobara Kugisaki, and Gojo takes them to a cursed site for a field mission. There, they encounter a young boy held hostage. Nobara surrenders to save him, but Yuji rescues her just in time, allowing her to eliminate the curse. A month later, the team is sent to exorcise a powerful cursed womb at a detention center. The area transforms into a nightmarish, infinite wasteland, with all inmates slaughtered. In the battle, Yuji's hand is severed by a special grade curse, forcing him to unleash Sukuna. While Megumi manages to rescue Nobara, Sukuna takes control, regenerates Yuji's limbs, and effortlessly defeats the special grade, seizing the cursed finger that powered it. However, Sukuna refuses to switch back, ripping out Yuji's heart to keep himself in control. If Yuji regains his body, he'll die instantly. Megumi battles Sukuna but is ultimately outmatched. Eventually, Yuji regains control, only to collapse and die from blood loss. As Megumi and Nobara mourn Yuji's death, they meet second-year students Maki Zenin, Toge Inumaki, and Panda. The trio informs them about the upcoming Kyoto Sister School Exchange event, a competition between Jujutsu High's Tokyo and Kyoto branches. Meanwhile, a group of powerful cursed spirits, Dagon, Jogo, and Hanami, gather with Suguru Geto, a mysterious human scheming to seal Gojo and recruit Yuji to their cause. While Yuji's body undergoes examination, he suddenly awakens in Sukuna's domain. Sukuna manipulates him into making a pact. In exchange for reviving Yuji, he will gain the ability to take control of Yuji's body at any time, though Yuji won't remember agreeing to it. Back in the real world, Yuji wakes up, but Gojo decides to keep his resurrection a secret for now. Instead, he begins training Yuji in controlling his cursed energy. Elsewhere, Geto instructs Jogo to assassinate Gojo. Jogo ambushes him on the road, but Gojo easily overpowers him. Mid-fight, Gojo nonchalantly picks up Yuji and within seconds teleports away to demonstrate the concept of domain expansions. Returning to the battle, Gojo activates his domain expansion, Infinite Void, trapping Jogo in a state of endless perception before decapitating him. Before Gojo can interrogate Jogo, Hanami arrives just in time to rescue him. Meanwhile, the cursed spirits meet Mahito, a newly born and sadistic curse. As preparations for the Kyoto Exchange event continue, Megumi and Nobara meet their competitors from Kyoto, including second-year Mai Zenin, Maki's twin sister, and third-year Aoi Todo. During their introduction, Todo easily defeats Megumi, while Maki reveals that she is unable to use cursed energy. Gojo confronts the Kyoto principal, accusing him of sending the first years to their deaths during the previous mission. A month later, Mahito kills 3 high school bullies in a movie theater. Junpei Yoshino, a lonely student who can see curses, witnesses the event and becomes intrigued. Mahito manipulates Junpei, promising to teach him how to use cursed energy. Meanwhile, Yuji and Nanami Kento investigate the murders, leading them to confront two cursed spirits. During the fight, Yuji showcases his cursed technique, Divergent Fist, which enhances his strength. Nanami soon realizes that the curses they are fighting were once human, victims of Mahito's twisted ability. Determined to uncover the truth, Nanami sends Yuji to track down Junpei. As Yuji heads to Junpei, Junpei himself is moments away from killing his teacher when Yuji arrives and interrupts him. Meanwhile, Nanami confronts Mahito in the sewers, engaging in a fierce battle. During their fight, Nanami makes a horrifying discovery. The transfigured humans Mahito creates are not just dead bodies, they are still alive, aware, and trapped in endless suffering. Reaching his limit, Nanami enters overtime, unleashing his full strength against Mahito. Though Nanami gains the upper hand, Mahito ultimately survives the encounter. Meanwhile, Yuji bonds with Junpei over their mutual love of movies. However, tragedy strikes when Junpei's mother is killed overnight, as one of Sukuna's fingers, planted by Geto, attracts powerful curses. Seeking revenge, Junpei is manipulated by Mahito into believing that one of his bullies is responsible. Fueled by rage, Junpei attacks his bully using a shikigami that poisons its victims. Yuji intervenes, desperately trying to reason with him and offering him a place at Jujutsu High. However, Mahito arrives and cruelly transfigures Junpei into a grotesque, unrecognizable monster. Unable to reverse the transformation, Yuji watches helplessly as Junpei dies. Enraged, Yuji charges at Mahito, and for the first time, Mahito is wounded. Yuji's fists directly damage both his body and soul. Mahito attempts to transfigure Yuji, but Sukuna intervenes, overpowering him. Nanami arrives and he and Yuji team up against Mahito. In desperation, Mahito unleashes his domain expansion, trapping Nanami inside. Before Mahito can finish him off, Yuji forcefully breaks into the domain, causing Mahito to accidentally touch Sukuna's soul once again. Sukuna, furious at being disturbed, gravely injures Mahito as punishment. Severely weakened, Mahito barely manages to escape. In the aftermath, Geto declares that their next move will be an ambush on Tokyo Jujutsu High. Shortly after, the Kyoto students arrive for the exchange event, and Yuji makes his dramatic return, shocking his friends. The first round of the event pits Tokyo and Kyoto students against each other in a heated competition. However, under secret orders from the Kyoto principal, the Kyoto students plan to assassinate Yuji. Meanwhile, Gojo grows suspicious that a traitor is hiding within Tokyo Jujutsu High. As the competition begins, the Kyoto students ambush Yuji, but the Tokyo team quickly splits them up to balance the fight. Yuji ends up in a brutal fistfight with Aoi Todo, who, instead of killing him, takes an unexpected interest in Yuji and declares that they should be best friends. Elsewhere, Megumi is confronted by Noritoshi Kamo, while Maki faces off against Kasumi Miwa. During their fight, Todo takes it upon himself to mentor Yuji, teaching him how to better harness his cursed energy. Meanwhile, Panda engages in a battle against Mekamaru, who reveals that his true body is frail and sickly, controlling the robot from a remote location. Mekamaru is ultimately unable to function, and Panda's gorilla mode emerges victorious in their battle. Meanwhile, Maki overpowers Kasumi, rendering her unconscious. Nobara takes on Momo and nearly wins, only to be knocked out at the last second by Mai's revolver. Maki then faces off against her sister, Mai. As Mai attempts to use her technique, Maki effortlessly catches the bullet with her bare hand, revealing that despite lacking cursed energy, she possesses incredible physical strength. Elsewhere, Kasumi is eliminated when Toge Inumaki uses his cursed speech to command her to sleep. However, Toga's victory is short-lived when he senses Hanami's presence. Realizing the danger, he flees and interrupts Megumi's fight, urgently instructing them to retreat. But before they can escape, Hanami blocks their exit. A massive veil is then cast over the battlefield, designed solely to prevent Gojo from intervening. Hanami easily shrugs off everyone's attacks and nearly strangles Maki to death, but before she can finish her off, Yuji and Todo arrive just in time to turn the tide of battle. Meanwhile, Panda and Momo evacuate the wounded. During the fight, Yuji showcases Black Flash, a powerful technique he learned from Todo. Todo, in turn, reveals his own ability, Boogie Woogie, which allows him to swap the positions of any two objects or people infused with cursed energy. Using this in tandem with Yuji's Black Flash, the two unleash a relentless assault on Hanami. Just as Hanami prepares to activate her domain expansion, Gojo finally breaks through the veil. After effortlessly defeating Juzo, another enemy involved in the attack, Gojo unleashes Hollow Purple, a devastating blast that annihilates half the forest. Hanami barely manages to survive the attack and escapes. Meanwhile, Mahito reveals that the entire invasion was a distraction to divert Gojo's attention. During the chaos, he successfully infiltrated Jujutsu High and stole 6 of Sukuna's fingers, along with 3 special-grade cursed wombs. Geto then ominously hints at their next move, the Shibuya incident, scheduled for October 31st, emphasizing that their priority is sealing away Gojo. After the battle, Gojo decides to conclude the exchange event with a more light-hearted baseball match. Sometime later, the Tokyo squad is assigned a new mission, investigating a string of mysterious deaths linked to Megumi's middle school.
Their search leads them to Yasohachi Bridge, where they discover that the deaths were caused by a powerful curse. Worse, Megumi's stepsister, who remains in a coma, is also a victim of this same curse. During the battle, 2 new curses appear, forcing Yuji and Nobara to separate from Megumi. Left alone and under immense pressure, Megumi reaches his breaking point, pushing himself to the limit and unleashing his domain expansion for the first time. After an intense battle, Megumi successfully defeats the curse and obtains another one of Sukuna's fingers. Meanwhile, Yuji and Nobara face off against the cursed brothers, who infect them with their decay technique, a deadly ability that rapidly rots their bodies. Despite the overwhelming odds, Nobara turns the table, exploiting a weakness in their technique. With Yuji's help, she manages to eliminate both brothers. Afterward, they find Megumi unconscious, clutching Sukuna's finger. Without hesitation, Yuji consumes it, adding another piece of Sukuna's power to himself. 2 days later, Gojo enlists Mei-Mei's help to investigate the identity of the traitor within Jujutsu High. The season concludes with both Aoi Todo and Mei officially recommending the Tokyo Jujutsu students for promotion to Grade 1 Sorcerers, recognizing their strength and growth. Now that you're fully caught up, you're ready to dive into Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one.